into the California branch of the Black Party and to start telling us that we need to research and study guerrilla warfare, right? So now Mutula and the East Coast branches of Panthers is still getting wind of what's taking place in California. So we at war with these motherfuckers. We ain't never not been at war with these motherfuckers. We was on what you call a ceasefire, right? We had a conjure war to fight. We had spiritual warfare to tend to that would make this shit down here be easy as fuck to overcome. So the spiritual warfare game, we call it on Earth a conjure war. It was a galactic chess game between the Amun, the unknown, the hidden ones, gods, and the Aten gods who they concealed in order for us to see if we would be able to recognize each other. So this is your story when you talk about King Tut, Akhenaten, and the war of the priests, the Amun priests versus the Aten priests. It's the same fucking war. The shit never stopped. So in the culture wars, while they was fighting World War II, we was collecting intel on how they was overthrown in Europe and sent over here in the first goddamn place. Right? Now, mind you, we already invited half of Europe over here because they was using pale faces to block the institutions so we couldn't get the information. And so when they did that, we don't have no choice but to overrun the institutions with what we call friendly faces that is going to put the shit in the public domain. So now you got Manly P. Hall, you got Aleister Crowley, you got France Bardon putting it all in the public domain. Right? So now we understand what we up against. But even the Scottish Rite put it in the public domain in Morals and Dogma. And then they put out little snippets as quotes of prominent members of the Scottish Rite, like the Rothschild family and the Rockefellers family when they was talking about putting us under the pressure. Pressure busts a pipe, but it won't break me. I'm just going to turn into a motherfucking diamond and boss up on your ass. So, I told y'all before, George Washington was the shaved Albert Pike version, the same way as Mona Lisa was the shaved Leonardo da Vinci, the same way that Abraham Lincoln was a lightened up version of the Abraham Lincoln, but he was the, what's that motherfucker name? I posted about him the other day. You got to look at the pictures to get the switcheroo. They playing 3-card money with the shit. We ain't supposed to figure it out. When they told me about this shit, yep, George Gurdjieff, yep, Uberman, almost Uberman, yep. So the Uberman is the Superman in English, and the Superman in English is a divine masculine. Right, Abraham Africanus is the one that they replaced who was a member of the Continental Congress. See, they was replacing these motherfuckers with the people that was doing the dirt as the hero. And they was replacing the hero with, or erasing them, whitewashing the history. That's a classic Anunnaki war tactic. Could call it defacing the gods. Shoot the nose off the Sphinx and see if modify who she is then. But they ain't all knowing. They can just only do what they can do. So when the chiefs put this shit together on the land, when we start sharing the information, we can't trust anybody that run for an election because we get sold out every single time, not sometimes. So we already know we can't trust no political figures, right? Because we always get sold out. So we got anything we do with a political figure to try to reclaim the land, we have to find a way to a plan B in case they don't do their job. In case they fall off, we can't get our shit back. We ain't gonna never be in the position where we can't get our shit back. I don't care who make the rules. When they call me to fix the problem, I'm gonna fix the problem. So we get a good Moorish education here. Because if you don't know the purpose of the moves of the master, then you can never understand the motive of the mission, right? It's obvious that we've been usurped. That's not a secret. It's obvious that we have an occupied force on the land. That's not a secret. Because they make you do what they want you to do, and that's not autonomy. So we got an outside force on the land as an occupied territory. Now, watch this. The entire landmass that they were supposed to control was a 10 square mile patch of land off the waterway in Washington, D.C. Ain't none of the rest of this shit ever been classified as anything other than tribal land. But because you don't know it, you going along to get along without questioning the status quo. Right? And Chief Peacock in the house, which is what I was doing the last couple of days. I've been getting knocks from chiefs all over the land, and they've been giving me receipts and collecting my receipts to verify who I am. And they done already did the verification, so now that they know who we is and who we dealing with, let's talk about the feathers. See, a long time ago, when this was the Atlan, and we lived in harmony, there was a giant raptor, big ass bird, and the bird's feathers was so pretty, they was fluorescent like, and they glittered in the sun. And so they was huge feathers, like they was like ostrich feathers, right? And the women used to get together and make a headdress for the chief to be able to be seen in the distance on top of Thoth's pyramid in Mexico, right? So when he's standing up there from a distance, he looked like a giant fucking bird. Now, under the suit behind him is his personal security and his military force, and they all under the same wing plume dress that the women made for the highest chief on the land. And they all helped carry it, and it was so huge that it would wrap around the pyramid, and then that's when they knew that Quetzalcoatl was home, because they had this ritual that they would do every time he returned, and they would wrap that pyramid down there in Mexico with these giant feathers of this now extinct bird. And as the sun make his journey across the sky, they dancing. They doing what we call today stomping the yard, right? And they feet make a thunder sound, right? So when they make the thunder sound, it causes all of those on the West Coast that we call Crips to cricket walk. Now, they used to have like coconut bottom shoes that when they did the sea walk, it used to clack, clack, clack louder than the stomp, but it was a sharper sound, right? So this would echo, and when the echo hit the sky, it would trigger a buildup of electromagnetic energy and shoot a lightning bolt. And the intensity of this ritual would go on all day, right? In the same energy,